So I'm currently sitting in here, taking my back seat out, fixing to dye them. All right, I got the bottom bench removed, fixing to take the top off, and we are going to dye the color more like that color instead of granny speck tan. So I took the seats out. It's looking rather bare, but I think it's gonna be worth it. Okay, so I've got my back seats laid out over this plastic. This is just a drop cloth from Lowe's. Got them laid out here. Got them wiped down real nice and clean, just with a microfiber towel and some leather quick detailer. I'm gonna let them just air dry for a minute. I did wipe them off pretty good with the rag. But I would like to say, I have never done anything like this before. This may look great, it may look terrible, but I thought I would just share the process, just in case anybody else wanted to do the same. I'm gonna turn these granny speck tan seats into hopefully some nice red seats. Let's see where to go. We've got dye, some over there, some more over there. And I am doing this in my bedroom, literally right in the middle of the floor. I know it's an absolute mess. I just moved in this weekend. I would normally do this kind of thing in my garage, but I don't have a garage, so yeah, we are in my bedroom right now. But it should be fun. Okay, so I've sort of done like a rough first coat. I'm not really liking the sponge that the dye comes with. It looks really light when it's wet, but it seems to darken this nice red color. I have applied it sort of unevenly, because when you're stroking it like this, it looks very streaky. Like, see if I can get it to focus. You can see sort of like right here, you can see the tan through it. So I'm trying to do more of a blot with the sponge. I may go get a bigger, better sponge, like an applicator pad for polish. I have some somewhere, but I'm not too sure where they got put. Like I said, I just moved. But I do have in this color one more little thing. If I can make this last for just this part and this, then hopefully the other one should be able to do the front seats. If not, it's not the end of the world. I can order more. But if I end up having to put a second coat on it, I'll definitely be ordering more. So hopefully it sort of evens out a little bit. Try to, actually that helped. Well, I'll play around with it. But you can see what it kind of looks like when you streak it versus blotting. Over here is actually starting to dry up pretty nice. I'm starting to like this color a lot more. It almost looks like a pinkish when it first goes on, but as it dries, it sort of matures into a nice red. All right, I finished one side. It's got one pretty decent coat on it. Again, I was just kind of blotching it on with this crappy little sponge. Bop, 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 bop. And then here for the corners and things, the little wet areas, I actually took a razor, severed off a corner of the sponge. I'd get it into the dye, and I'd make my way into the crack with it. And I did that all the way around. Ching, ching, ching. It was kind of tedious, but it looks pretty cool. If you get really close up, like with the light, I mean, you can see that there's still tan down in those holes. If I had like a real brush, or even like a bristle brush, I could pretty easily, but that doesn't really bother me all that much. That angle there, as long as I get the seams really good in the fold, here in the middle, I kind of like the look of them. It just looks white. It doesn't really come off as tan, at least in person, maybe on camera with the flash on. Over here, I should probably touch it up a little bit. It's looking a little light here in these parts. I kind of rushed it. But the main sections of it that are just smooth leather, I feel like they came out really nice for just one coat. And I definitely like this color a lot more than grainy tan. Unfortunately, I have pretty much used all of this bottle. I have one more, but it's gonna have to be used on that. I'll be tapping and getting the very last drip drops out of here, probably to touch up this and maybe the remainder of that one. But in order to do the fronts, I'll definitely be ordering some more. But so far, I mean, I really like it. Especially, I mean, if you're not putting your nose right up to it, it looks great. I mean, it really does. In terms of flipping this car, for the profit in the future, I think this is going to add a little bit of value and be a lot more desirable than that. That looks like puke. So I've got some good flat black paint that should work good for the interior. Oh, this is just a piece that, like that. You see it over there. This is gonna be my test piece because it's got that same sort of leather pattern that's in the rest of the car. As you can see in the spots where it hasn't been rubbed before it is fully cured, it's really pretty scratch resistant and the dye is holding well. I got a little ahead of myself and I put the driver's seat in before it was fully cured, and I'll definitely have to touch up the seat. As you can see, you know, when my legs hit, I've worn some where my shoulder hits when I'm rolling through the gears. Go wah ba 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 ba. My shoulder hits here and it rubs. My waist and lower back hit there. So, you know, I just need to touch this up. But everywhere where I actually got a chance to dry, it is very solid. And it looks good too. I mean, I can't go into 0.5, but compared to tan, I mean, it's a much nicer color. And the dash, it just looks so much better in black. And it matches the factory dash. I mean, it's just flat black Rust-Oleum vinyl and fabric spray. I mean, compared to tan, I like the black. I mean, it fits well. And it matches the factory colors in the car. It's just flat black. All right, so we are back in my bedroom getting ready to dye the fourth and final seat. Just got another big sheet of plastic held down by a old flagpole, my work boots, and a water bottle. You can see, got my laundry, you know, miscellaneous car parts dotted all around, my clothes right there. In case anything goes wrong, and got a fire hydrant too. But yeah, we are literally right in the middle of my bedroom. I have already pre-painted this piece, the feet, and the, whatever you call this, the trim for the seat adjustments. I'm probably gonna start with this headpiece, make my way down. I'll probably use a brush for the edges of this because I really forgot to paint that on the first seat, the driver's seat. And it's gonna be a pain in the butt to get it black after the fact that it's red. And yeah, see if we can make it happen. All right, so I ran through and I put a decent first coat, just blotting with that little sponge. It's not perfect. Let's see if I can capture it. Yeah, there it is. You can see a little bit of tan through it here and there, not everywhere. And it'll darken as it dries. It'll even out as it dries. And I'll wait till it dries. I'll move on to other places, get a nice layer on, and then at the end, I'll come back and touch up all the little light spots. With these, it seems easiest to do it with a little sponge like this. Instead of brushing it on and leaving like a streaky pattern, I found that it's nice to let the sponge sort of leave a natural leather look. Just ba 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 ba. It's a little bit of a forearm workout, to be honest. I'll probably do whatever this is about a million times. But this here, I think I'm going to try to use an actual paintbrush along the edge of this. I have yet to do that. I might see about poking it with the brush. I'm not too sure how it's going to turn out, but I mean, I can always mess with it again if it doesn't look good. The seat looks dingy as heck because I have literal spray paint, overspray all over it. But I'm gonna get back to work. Got a decent outline of that piece. Just gonna go ahead and start finishing off this back. All right, I am done. There's a couple of little things that I need to touch up. Like right here in the seam, there's a little bit of tan. But I mean, other than that, it is looking good. It went on nice, even. It's just some piddly things like these little edges that I'll need to hit with a brush. I'll probably do some sort of paint pen for here on these. But now I just need to let it cure for about 48 hours for it to be 100%. All right, so essentially all I need to do to finish the car at this point is get that seat in, let it dry. And, oh yeah, I need to finish my doors. Yeah, my doors are still tan. I need to make the doors black. And as you can see, it actually turned out pretty good. The color stuck well, and the car looks good.